Igno-Rinse.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just when we thought the tragic saga of Nipsey Hussle's untimely demise was coming to an end, yet another layer has been added to this sordid web of deceit, violence, and murder. Let's take a listen to this news report, and I'll respond later with commentary.
On his behalf?
Yes,
Eric Holder was formally charged today with the murder of Nipsey Hussle, 2 counts of attempted murder, the 2 men that were standing next to him, and a count of being a felon with a firearm. And he also has a very famous attorney, Christopher Darden, who was the prosecutor in the OJ Simpson case 24 years ago. Darden entered the courtroom a little after 2 o'clock and spent nearly 35 minutes with his client in the back room. There were times when he did his best to hide his client from the cameras, but Holder, who's extremely tall, was in clear view of the cameras that were pointing at him. Holder's bail was set at $5 million, and he will be back in court on May 10th. Outside of court, Darden did not answer any questions. When I asked if Holder's people reached out to him, he said, "I have to catch a plane," and then he hustled down the staircase. The prosecutor in this case, John McKinney, said he had no comment to make either. When I asked, what about the female who drove Holder away from the crime scene, who has been talking to police, will she be charged? He said, no comment.
We want to make sure that everyone who's responsible for the murder of Nipsey Hussle is brought to justice. That woman is lying through her teeth. She's the getaway driver.
At the memorial site where Hussle was murdered, a steady stream of people continue to pour in and pay their respects. In the courtroom today in downtown Los Angeles, security was extremely tight. 20 deputies were scattered throughout the courtroom. Holder was brought in a squad car under heavy guard, and he is being kept in solitary confinement. And now he has a famous lawyer who during the OJ Simpson trial was a household name.
Chris Darden holds a very interesting place in the minds of African Americans nationwide. In the early 90s, he was universally regarded as the black face of an often unjust white establishment, and has never held his tongue on the vitriol he faced in his pursuit of the once beloved OJ Simpson.
Was that hard for you?
It was extremely hard for me.
Why? Tell us why.
Well, first of all, I could never have imagined other black people saying things like that about me. I mean, I had committed my professional career, I thought, to protecting the black community from predators and from people that prey on us, the people that sell crack to our kids, the people that molest our children and do drive-by shootings. But, you know, I thought that I was performing an important service for my community. I thought I was doing the right thing.
I wanted to just read one of the letters you received. You received over the past year or so, thousands of letters. This is one dated October 4th, 1995. Dear Christopher Darden, you have been a disgrace to the black community. I've followed this trial to its duration. You were sloppy and unprofessional. How could you be such an Uncle Tom? You sold out your black people for publicity and kissed the white man's ass. You need to retire and check yourself because you've already wrecked yourself. But some of us never learn, do we, Christopher? May God help you. You sure need it. You are not wanted as a black person, you Uncle Tom. Good riddance. And I actually can't read the signature. And then it says, P.S. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. How did this make you feel?
Well, I received hundreds and hundreds of letters.
Like this?
Like that. Sure, that's one of the calm, nice ones. That's medium. How did I feel? You know, initially when these letters began coming in, my colleagues would go through all the mail and they'd remove all of those letters. And for a while I had no idea that, you know, I mean, I see people on the freeway flipping me off, but for a while I had no idea that people felt that way about me. And then when I found out and started looking at it, it was painful. It was painful.
Immediately following OJ's acquittal, Darden was unceremoniously fired from the district attorney's office.
I found out I was no longer a member of the DA's office when I read it in the newspaper.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. Someone called me and said, Darden, you got fired from the DA's office. I'm like, what? No, I didn't. No way. You know, after all the blood I've shed, hell no.
But it was true, and he says the trial cost him even more.
I lost friends to a point that I hardly have any friends. I could count my friends on 4 fingers.
To this day.
To this day.
He would later go on to admit what many in the know had long since suspected. He had very likely been used as the token black face during a period of tumultuous race relations. 25 years later, Darden finds himself in a similar set of circumstances. He's once again in a courtroom, and once again at odds with yet another revered hometown hero. If being on the bad side of Black America has negatively impacted him, he shows no signs of it. In what I can only assume to be a pro bono representation, the former prosecutor now defends the murderer of a black man mourned the world over. Quite frankly, I don't see the flow of hate mail stopping anytime soon. This is the Igno-Rinse.
That wasn't for me, man. That was for my bro, man. That's for Nipsey, man. 20 plus 20 plus 20. They know what that means, man. That's for my bro.